Good morning. Once more, welcome to my Norma Cowie channel and my thought, or should say a Sunday thought. Got to get my brain scrambled. It's the first Sunday of the new year, 2021. You know, I was listening to a lady by the name of Laurie Ladd this morning speaking out. A thought that I had a lot this year. Thing is for us to remember that inside we have a light, and that is the light of our own love, our own beingness, our own awareness, and that light shines out into the world. At this particular time when there's so much fear, so much in some ways oppression going on, and it sounds like more to come, we have to look as those of us that are on a spiritual path, a metaphysical path, an awareness path, a self-growth path. They're all different paths, but they all say the same thing, that are we being ourselves? Are we shining as brightly as we can? Are we allowing our light to shine? It is something that I have noticed, that fear amongst my friends, when I talk to them on the phone, the fear is there. Now, I a long time ago quit watching basic media because all I heard was they were feeding fear. And I must say, and it's happened in my thought patterns a lot. Maybe it's because I had a life in Nazi Germany where I was killed in a camp. Maybe that's it. But a lot of what is happening and how they said later on, how they got to rule was through fear. That it reminds me of those early days in Germany. And that people had to rely on their own light. They had to create for themselves a sense of peace inside. So, when we come into a brand new year, we think of peace. That's what we say, peace to you, peace upon you, peace to you. We've gone through Christmas. We're now gone through the new year. I can't believe it's the 3rd already of January. And yet, are we shining? Are we paying attention? Now, in this talk I heard this morning, it was talking about it was time to stand up and to face the dark. Now, I recognize that, and I work with that pretty well every day. Sometimes with clients, not that they know that's what we're doing, is clearing their own darkness, but also on the basic metaphysical principle. I got woken up when I was sick in March by hearing Mr. Bill Gates do a talk, and I didn't like what he said at all. In fact, I was so ill, and I kind of sat up and said, oh my goodness, this reminds me of the early Germany. All this same rhetoric, the same talk. Now, where did that knowingness come from? I don't know. And since then, I began to listen and look at what people were saying, conspiracy theories. They were talking about all sorts of other things. And I began to do research, and so did some of my friends. A lot didn't. A lot stayed locked in the fear of being ill, dying, etc. As a past life regressionist, as a person who explored the death process, I find that that's one thing we just need to recognize. Our souls being so infinite, so that light that is our soul, it will go on forever and maybe have another incarnation, maybe move on to another planet or dimension. Depends on the growth that you have in relation to this planet. This planet is in turmoil, not for itself, but because of it's the time of what's happening. But that's a talk I want to do another day, because you see, I also remember Atlantis. I also remember what happened when people forgot that universal love force, which they called the One at the time. When they forgot that we were humans, and that's what we are here. We are given this gift of being able to live as humans on this planet. And as the technocrats take over more and more and more, and almost don't appreciate the humanity that we have. And that's what I hear often when they speak. It's like they've forgotten that they are a human because they're just into the intellect. And I've run into a lot of that with my clients. Again, a talk for another day. We have a mental element and an intellect, which is brilliant, but we also have emotion and feeling and empathy and a sense of responding to others and a recognizing that we are on the journey. And if we pull together as a light, we are powerful. And our light always dispels darkness. But if you're not aware, or you don't want to look at it because you don't want to have to acknowledge that, you're not always aware of what darkness there is. I'm just going to suggest this. I'm going to suggest that you look inside to see what you're really afraid of. What is it that you really are afraid of? Are you afraid of dying? Are you afraid of your friends and other people you love dying? Well, that's going to happen. We all go at some time. And the key would be perhaps to learn a little bit more how the process works. There are many books out there about that subtopic. But also to remember to look, what is hiding your light? What is hiding from you for believing in you and humanity? What is stopping you from really understanding that really the love energy that I feel and have come to know and totally accept that exists in this planet, to allow that into your life to spread out to others, no matter what is happening? Remember the movie Life is Beautiful? I believe there was a title, and it was done by an Italian. He, at the awards, he ran over the tops of the seats to claim his Oscar. Remember the story of that, where he held the light and worked for his son to be happy. Oh yes, he was killed in the end, unfortunately, but he knew he had the message of being bright and light, and he lifted his son, he lifted others around him. Who are you lifting? Who are you helping to feel more than, and not to succumb to the dark, not to succumb to the fear, the oppressions that are happening? 3rd of January, brand new year. Just remember, you are a light, that you are loved. This planet loves you because you're here, that other people love you. Exhibit that. Allow that to shine brightly and be at one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. Always appreciated. And don't forget the likes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And bless each and every one of you. And so it is.